Well, it's finally here, defiance. If you're ever attacked by a disorderly person or a group of skunks, you can now safely and lawfully defend yourself. Instantly and effectively with Defiance. Defiance is a new federally approved mace-type defender spray pen, just like the ones federal employees carry for self-defense. It's as easy to use as a hairspray. You just point your Defiance at the skunk and activate it. The Defiance will discharge an effective chemical spray that will immediately make the attacker's self helpless. Now, for a period of 15 to 20 minutes, they are incapacitated. Hello, David. You're on WABC with Bob Grant.
Yes. David? Okay, Bob...
No, you, David. Me, Bob.
Yes. I want just to ask you, Carol is not in? She went already? Carol.
Where are you from, pal?
Listen, I want to speak something. She's in. She went already? I just want to say it to her, but she can't hear it anyway. But I'll tell you, the main reason why they put him to prison, to jail for life, because he should keep his mouth shut. Because the United States government has double-crossed Israel twice. Once was in the Yom Kippur War when I was in Israel. Afterwards, he came out. They never said to Israel, Egypt is going to prepare for war. So what happened? They told to Golda Meir, everything is okay. But they never want to give over the satellite pictures what happened. So therefore, they went to Parler.
You prove that Yitzhak Rabin was right when he called guys like you...
Listen,
Nemeshot, Shel Nemeshot.
Oh, why can't you be a human being?
Why can't I be
Yes,
a human? What are you doing in my country? What are you doing in my country, pal? How'd you sneak into my country, pal? Pal, what are you doing in my country?
The same as you. Let me answer my question.
Yeah, you're a Nemeshot, that's what you are.
Don't be so bad person.
Yeah. Listen, pal.
The main point is because the United States does double-cross Israel. Once, twice.
Hey, listen, if it's so bad, why did you come here, pal?
Listen,
why did
you be a human being?
Why don't you be...
person, you.
Why don't I be a human being? Hey, listen.
I'm talking to you now. The main point is why.
The main point is why I don't step on you and squash you.
Yes, because you're anti-Semite.
Anti-Semite? That makes me an anti-Semite.
Yes,
because I think you're a jerk. That makes me an anti-Semite.
Weinberg is a Nazi.
You're an anti-Semite because I don't like you. I want you out of my country, you snake.
You skunk.
Skunk?
Yeah, you skunk.
I'm a skunk?
You stink, yeah, you stink, you. You always want to bring over into the cold, everybody comes up, you always want to put
I want to know how you snuck into my country.
Because you want to speak like you know everything. You don't know nothing whatsoever.
Well, why do you bother listening to a guy who knows nothing?
You are a Nazi. That's why they want Jonathan Powell to be in jail because of that. You just stop pissing there, you stinker, you.
Hey, listen.
You are the same.
You know what I'd like you to do, David?
They want to keep him in jail because of that.
You know what I'd like you to do,
Only because of that, because we still got Nazis here in America. There's Nazis in Europe. There's Nazis all over the place.
How dare you little weasel? How dare you call me those names?
Stinker.
What'd you say? With that, he hung up. He hung up on me. He hung up on me. How dare he? Can you believe that? A guy hung up on me? That's an outrage. I'm outraged. I'm totally outraged. Send in somebody to take over the rest of the program. I can't function. I'm outraged. You stinker, you stinker, you skunk. He's what Yitzhak Rabin called a nemeshot. My Hebrew may not be real good, but I think most of you understand. This portion of the Bob Grant Show brought to you now by your local nemeshot dealer. No, actually, your oil heat dealer.
What's on your mind? We'd like to know. Call us at 201-489-WABC from New Jersey and 212-563-WABC from every place else.
It's David checking in right now on the Bob Grant program. Hello, David.
Yeah, Bob, this is Dave from Neptune, New Jersey, and I'm about 24 years old, and I always respected your opinion, so I'd like to ask you a question. In regards to the Vietnam War and the media, I'm I was always a little curious about how you think the media affected the Vietnam War as to public opinion, and how do you think it affected the history as the way we perceive it, that is the media on the Vietnam War?
I think a couple of things. It's a very complex answer that I would have to give you because in the initial stages, the media, having attended what they called the 5 o'clock follies in Saigon and in Cam Ranh Bay, they would hear all these stories of body counts. They would hear all these lies being told by our own leaders that there was the light at the end of the tunnel, that we were capable of such tremendous firepower that the Viet Cong and the North Vietnamese couldn't stand up to us. And they were reporting this, and not only were they reporting this, they themselves were believing it. After a few years, there was no victory. There was a stalemate, and the stalemate was costing us a great deal of money and a great deal of emotional strain. And then people were beginning to ask, wait a minute, what is this for? So at that point, the media began to get disenchanted and began to probe the way they probably should have in the beginning.
Right.
So I think that it did have an impact in terms of alerting the public that all was not what we had thought it was. When a public, the American public or any other populace, becomes disenchanted, feels that it's been deceived, then morale sinks and people grow tired of it. Sure, we were sacrificing our national honor, we thought, by not winning. But in the long run, we did more damage by hanging on and hanging on and hanging on.
Well, I think it's interesting because, if I've only really lived through one war, and that's the Persian Gulf War, and I just thought it was interesting to know how you would think it reflected the Vietnam War because, of course, history...
Well, it was a different time. The Persian Gulf War was widely supported, widely understood, widely appreciated, and necessary.
Oh, I realize that.
In Vietnam, it was, in retrospect, it was absolutely ludicrous.
Right. Well, it's a little different from my point of view looking at it because I'm rather young, and I looked at the Vietnam War, and then I looked at the Persian Gulf War.
A guy 24 says he's rather young.
Well, I see it as...
Although you didn't say you were 24, you said you were about 24. And you know, David, I can never understand when a person says they're about. You either are 24 or you're 25 or you're 23.
Well, I'm somewhere in between 24 and going to be 25. Does that work?
Well, if you want to be that immature to say that you're 24 and a half, I can understand if you were 5 and a half, you'd say, I'm 5 and a half. Thank you.
Thanks, Bob.
It's 17 minutes before 6 o'clock. I really should get out of here. I mean, I really should. I started out with 52 cards. And by the way, let me tell you, on the 17th floor, from the general manager on down, nobody is playing with a full deck. Let me tell you that right now. Nobody's playing with a full deck. You can't be in this business with a full deck. You just couldn't. I'm looking at two guys right now smiling. You guys aren't playing with a full deck, and you know it. Some people have fewer cards than others. I think I started out with about 50 cards, maybe 49. Each progressing day, each day, I lose more cards. So when I lose enough cards, then I'll be able to communicate with a lot of people around here because I'll be down to your level. But the easy way to lose these cards is to come in and do this dumb show. Really, it's dumb. And getting dumber. 16 minutes before 6. All right, should we get back to our telephones? Indeed, we are saying hello to Pam right now, calling from New Jersey. Yes, Pam.
Hello, Mr. Grant. I just wanted to bring to your attention, or I don't know if anybody heard it, but I found it rather amusing, that when the president was in the hospital and all this hoopla the media had over the possibility of Vice President Quayle becoming president, they went to Mr. Jackson and asked him what his opinion was of this possibly happening. And he says, President Quayle, just the thought of it is going to give me an irregular heartbeat.
Well, too bad it didn't prove out. Too bad since he was thinking about it, he didn't have an irregular heartbeat. But what an absurd person to go to, a person who hates America, who hopes in his lifetime to see America as we know it today destroyed. And by the way, if anybody thinks that's an overly harsh statement, let me defy you, let me challenge any of you to mention one time where this jerkson ever stood up and defended America, ever took the side of America vis-a-vis any foreign country. You will not find that. He hates America. He hates what it stands for. He feels that the only vindication will be to bring down the government as we have it. As far as Dan Quayle is concerned, I would ask any sane person to give themselves the Jackson Quayle test, or Jerkson Quayle, if you want to be more precise. Ask yourself, who would make you feel worse?
Right, Mr.
President Jackson or President Quayle? Would you like Jesse Jerkson conducting foreign policy? Would you like Jesse Jerkson leading the economy? David, you're at WABC. Hello.
Yes, good afternoon, Bob. It's a pleasure to speak to you. You're a very intelligent man. I'm calling with regards to the Brady Bill. The two fellows earlier had a very good conversation. My opinion is that it really won't work. Being from my own experience, twice in conversations with people, I've noticed that people have bought guns from sources, and my own family from has been able to buy guns.
In other words, you're talking about illegal guns?
Right. It's so easy. It's so easy.
In other words, what you're saying is it's easy to violate the law and risk a year and a day in jail, huh? And why are members of your family so gun crazy that you say all these people are buying illegal guns?
Right. The thing is, I understand the good intention of the Brady Bill. It's a good intention, but if it's going to take cops off...
In other words, what you're saying is that any legislation that isn't guaranteed to work 100%, we shouldn't bother with. Throw up our hands, give up, huh?
No, I'm not saying that, but I'm saying that if it's going to take cops off the street...
Well, why is it going to take cops off the street?
Because they're going to be doing paperwork.
Are they?
Well, that's how it sounds like.
No, they're not going to be doing paperwork. Pal, I got news for you. The police won't have to be doing that paperwork.
Who will?
Who will? Civilian employees, people who will be able to use computers to check and find out whether some skunk who's applying for a gun has a criminal record. Thank you for the call. Nice try, David. Thank you.
All right.
He's got all his friends buying guns. What a nice bunch of friends. Al, you're on WABC. Al calling from Edison.
Yes, Bob, I wanted to talk about the Jonathan Pollard and his wife. As far as I'm concerned, they should have been given life terms or the death penalty. 2020 did an article on them about a year ago. And
did an article on whom?
On the Pollard. And it told how if they took the secrets that they stole, they would fill a room 6 foot by 6 foot by 10 feet. And Jonathan Pollard still gets paid by the Israeli government almost $8,000 a month. The Israeli government...
Where do you get that? Wait a minute. Where do you get that?
That's a fact.
No. Tell me where you get it. Don't certify
I get it from the
You sound like Bonnie Sadra. Well, you're full of malarkey.
What? What are you talking about?
You heard what I said. You don't know what you're talking about.
It was on 2020.
I don't care if it was on 4040. You don't know what you're talking about.
I do know what I'm talking about, and you're a lackey for the Jews.
I knew you were nothing but an anti-Semitic.
Show.
Did we get that? Yeah, we got that. Okay. On WABC, we had to cut what he was saying because he revealed his true colors. Unfortunately, it's too bad we can't let stuff like that go out so you people could hear what lowlives I have to deal with. Mike, you're at WABC. Hello.
How you doing, Mr. Grant? Real quick before the clock runs out,
one thing I just wanted to say. The Brady Bill does not mandate that any background check be done at all. So
Oh, well, then,
it's a total
what's
scam.
then what's all the fuss? What's all the fuss? You mean to say the bill that I read, the bill that John Dingell was talking about, you mean to say I'm reading the wrong bill? Where are you people getting your information, for heaven's sake?
Does it mandate a background check be done?
It mandates that a person have clearance after a 7-day waiting period to make sure that nothing turns up. What does that mean? What are you trying to do? Engage in double talk?
Does it
Ah,
mandate...
go play with your six-shooter, you jerk. That slams the lid on things for today. Until tomorrow, this is Bob Grant reminding you your influence counts. Use it. Why don't you kill that skunk Saddam Hussein, that no good creep? Kill him now. It's 6 o'clock. Lloyd, you're on WABC with Bob Grant. Hello.
Oh, hello. I've been waiting for about half an hour to call you. Yeah. Does it normally take this long? Anyway, Bob, I had an experience over just this past weekend over in Brooklyn because my grandmother, she lives over in Flatbush. Anyway, are you listening?
I'm listening, yes.
Okay. Yeah, because it sounds so dead silent. Anyway.
Well, I'm listening. I don't... How can I listen and talk at the same time?
Okay. Sorry about that. Anyway, my grandmother, she lives over in Flatbush, and what happened is, this Saturday we went over there, walking by, I believe that they have a few of those Korean stores there, and the Haitians, man, they were shouting, the white man this, and the white man the other, and the white man... I mean, they don't think. I mean, they're under the periphery of Sharpton or something like that, that fat Pollock.
I beg your pardon?
No, I was just referring to Sharpton as a fat Pollock.
I don't understand. Why would you use such language?
Sorry. Well,
yeah, I'm sorry, but I don't care to listen to you low-life scum. Mike, you're on WABC. Hello.
Yeah, Bob?
Yes.
I want to say one thing. Sharpton does not represent more than 1% of the black people in New York City.
Good. I'm glad to hear that. Barbara, you have a tough act to follow, but hello.
Yes, hello. I think that the attack in Israel today against the Arabs shows the beginning of the Jewish intifada against the Arabs, which Meir Kahana's Koch organization predicted many years ago. Jews are increasingly frustrated with the violence, and they are turning to make their own intifada.
Give my regards to Kahana, will you? You can recognize him. He's the guy with the beard and the yellow streak.
And you too, Bob.
And let's say hello to, get a load of this guy, Tilton. Here's the big fake phony fraud who tried to make me believe he works in this building. Yeah, fake, hello.
Yes, I happen to live in Flatbush. And what I can't understand about the Koreans that own and work in my community, why don't they have any blacks working in their stores? Why is it that it's all Korean?
Why don't you ask them?
Don't you find that racist?
No.
I do.
No, I think that people should be allowed to hire whomever they want and not hire whoever they don't want.
And also, I think that people should buy where they want and buy where they don't want to buy.
Well, nobody's forcing anybody to buy there.
Of course.
But people are trying to keep people who want to buy there from doing it. Hey, look, you don't have to buy there, but don't keep me from buying there.
Okay, I have one more point to make. You have such a problem with WLIB. You're always talking about WLIB. I listen to WLIB. I never hear anything mentioned about your name.
Well, I don't care whether they mention me or not.
Yeah, you have such a problem. I think it's jealousy. That's what I think it is. Policy minister.
You mean jealous because they get away with murder and nobody else does? Yeah, I'd like to get away with murder too.
Power to Minister Farrakhan.
Farrakhan?
You got it, baby.
Yeah, well, maybe we ought to sit down with him and decide how we want to divide this country up, Tilton, because he believes in separatism.
I believe in that, too.
Well, then what are you calling a white guy for?
Hey, listen, you couldn't shine his shoes, nor left.
No, what are you calling a white guy for? If you believe in separatism, why are you calling a white guy?
Because it's my right. I was born and raised in the United States.
You know what? You're correct. It is your right to be. It is your right to be a two-bit hypocrite.
And anytime you want me to shine your shoes, buddy, I know where you are. I work there.
Oh, you do not. You don't work in this building. You don't work in this building.
Anytime.
No, I don't want you to shine my shoes. You couldn't even do that.
Hey,
get off my phone. Chris, hello.
Your first caller of the day was named Abdullah. Now, he came across, certainly to me, and I think to most of your listeners, as a hateful, angry, and stupid black racist. About a half hour later, another caller, a fellow named Tom, if I recall, advocated a white homeland, quote, and he advocated an organized effort to effect a racial apartheid in America. Now, he came across, certainly to me, as a hateful, angry, and clever white racist. In my view, one Tom is more of a threat to our democracy than 100 Abdullahs. Both Tom and Abdullah are equally deserving of our contempt, disgust, and dismissal. My question to you, Bob, is why were you so righteously angry with Abdullah while being so deferentially dismissive to Tom, the white racist? I wonder if, if you see a problem with that. I wish you would have been equally not hateful, but equally angry to both of them, because I think they are both equally.
Well, if you were listening objectively, you would have heard me denounce what Tom had said. You would have heard me tell him I didn't approve of that.
Good.
Did you recall that?
Well, one thing.
Do you recall that?
I was very happy that you.
Did you recall that? Answer yes or no. Do you recall that?
Yes, I do.
Good. On WABC, let's say hello to Mike.
Hey.
I got to explain myself to that creep. Nick of Bergenfield only calls when there's something that he feels will put forth his left-wing scummy agenda. Hey, Nick, you know something? I despise you. All right, Harold, you're on WABC.
Harold.
Yeah,
this is Harold.
Yes, I said Harold.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't hear you say that. You said something about that the Italians don't have any African blood, and I think maybe you've forgotten about your history about the
Hey,
Moors.
look. Are you trying? Are you trying to make yourself feel better because you want to claim that somehow or other there's an infusion with the Italians? If you need that for your pathetic little putrid ego, then go ahead. Tell yourself bedtime stories if they make you feel better. Tom, you're on WABC. Hello.
Hello, Bob.
Yes.
Hi. About 4 months ago, you had a gentleman on who used to be the former, I think, director of the National Endowment for the Arts. It was a pretty entertaining conversation because he was he was slightly elitist, but he was, the way he described a certain artwork, there was a certain amount of logic that I understood from seeing some of the work of like Serrano and whatnot. And what you mentioned about deconstruction and how a lot of artwork has very kind of literal themes now, my question to you is, what is your concept of art now? And I mean, because you were describing that you didn't feel a certain liking for photography as being art.
I'll tell you something, Tom. Anybody who thinks that taking a crucifix, putting it in a glass of urine, and photographing it is art is a person who is not even a deconstructionist. He's a person who has not evolved. He's a person who has a stilted evolutionary status. And if you think that Serrano deserves to be called art, then I know where you're coming from, sweetheart.
Mr. Grant, though?
Yes. Don't get too close to me.
Mr. Grant, it's funny, though, but I went to see one of his shows called Morgue, and the themes are good, but the literalness about them is what really upsets me. I'm an architect, and I feel that art deals with ideas, and his ideas are so literal, and that's what really disgusts me. And actually, I was just trying to find if your approaches towards art are more Renaissance-like, where there are ideas and they're described in a more creative way.
Well, my conception of art, if you're talking about art as in paintings, as in visual art, sculpting, might be looked down upon by the elitists because they're not avant-garde. They're not, as they used to say, bohemian.
It's true.
I don't care for Salvador Dali, for example. To me, he was no artist. I don't care for Picasso. I don't care for Cubism. I don't care for modern art.
Mm-hmm.
I saw great art in the Louvre. I saw great art in the Sistine Chapel. By the way, in the Prado, I didn't see such great art. I think Goya is an overrated jerk. Every person in a Goya painting looks the same. Their eyes are bulging out of their head. If anybody's ever been to the Prado in Madrid, let me know if you didn't notice that. Tom, I thank you for the call.
Thank you, sir.
On WABC, let's say hello to Rich. Rich, what's on your mind?
Good afternoon. Yeah, I believe in an egalitarian system.
I believe in what?
Could you hear me?
You believe in what, sir?
An egalitarian system.
You do?
Yeah. I believe, listen to me carefully, I believe in a free market system geared to a socialist economy and ethnic communities. You can't have a system where today you have a couple working 40, 50 hours a week like machines, and at the end of the week just about make ends meet. It's like ordering a pizza with 8 slices, and before you even open up the box, 7 slices are taken out. The taxes, insurance, the mortgage, the this, the that. You've got to have a system where it's not materialism over humanism, but humanism over materialism.
When you think you know what you're talking about, call the program again. In the meantime, get back in the freezer because you're going to rot if you don't stay frozen, you dummy.
This is America's most listened to talk radio station.
WABC, New York.
It's 5 o'clock. Rick, you're on WABC. Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rick.
It's Rick from South Jersey.
Well, wow.
I listen to you every afternoon. I know this is not Bob Grant. This is Jay Diamond. I can't believe all the gavones out there have not caught on to this yet.
Well, you're the only one who figured it out today.
Well, I listen every afternoon to Bob on my way home from work, and I could tell right away.
You're the only one to figure it out that it's me and not him.
How about that?
How did you, what was the tip-off, Rick?
It was some of your phrasing.
The phrasing?
Yeah.
I got to work on imitating Bob a little better.
Well, I'm still enjoying the program now.
Well, thank you. Anything you want me to tell Bob?
No, not really.
All right.
It's the first time I've ever called your radio station.
Well, okay, Rick.
All right now.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
As a Bob Grant fan calling me as I sit in here for Bob. Ladies and gentlemen, they're sick and getting sicker. Ladies and gentlemen, they're dumb and getting dumber.
This is America's most listened to talk radio station.
WABC.
Get a new jingle, will you, John Manelli? It's 6 o'clock.
Bob Grant. 77 WABC. Bob Grant.
And here's Len checking in on the line. Hello, Len.
Good evening, Bob Grant. I'd like to talk about your Mandatory Sterilization Act.
Yes, sir.
I'm a young black male, right? And I live in, like, the ghetto part, and it's so many
What do you
young
mean?
girls...
Wait a minute. Well, stop right there. You said, and I live in the ghetto part. What is the ghetto part? What?
I live in Bedford-Stuyvesant, Brooklyn, right?
Okay, all right.
It got good parts, but I happen to live in the bad part.
Okay.
And there's so many doggone girls walking around with kids. I'm talking about from the ages of, like, I saw as young as 10.
I believe you.
It's ridiculous. It is. You got kids running around everywhere. I'm talking about one girl could be responsible for as many as 5 kids. I think, because my mother is a foster parent, she have kept kids over the couple of, past 3 or 4 years. And what do you see is so ridiculous. I don't know why they have these kids if they're not going to take care of them. I'm writing to Mayor Dinkins to form a task force to track these parents down and sterilize them. If they want to go sell themselves, let them go do it, but stop having these kids.
All right. Thank you very much.
Okay, no problem.
I like Len. I like him. You track him down and sterilize him. Hey, you there. Oh, me. Get her. Okay, we got her. Okay, hold her down. Put the Norplant in the arm. There it is. Ooh, there. See, that didn't hurt, did it? No, not at all. All right, now you can go out and screw your brains out, you no good bum. Rich, you're on WABC. Hello.
You think those senators have a rap sheet now that were arrested, that were handcuffed when Leader Bird sent them to arrest them to come and listen to the dialogue in the Senate? That's being speech.
Oh, you're talking about Senator Robert Packwood.
Yeah.
Well, that was a...
a few more things. I'd just like you to comment on these three before I get cut off, I'm sure.
Cut off?
Well,
what do you mean by cut off? That has a connotation that is rather sinister.
Well, the news is coming up soon or something at 5:30.
Don't be paranoid, Dom! Don't worry about the news coming up.
You're paranoid. You're yelling.
I'm yelling? That doesn't make me paranoid. That makes me annoyed and angry. I can't stand gavonishness. Now, what is it you want to say,
Why are you acting like one?
Because I am a gavone. I've never denied that.
Did something happen in the House yesterday that they cut off the TV? Was Dornan speaking or something?
Yes. Thank you, Dom.
Wait, one more thing.
Oh.
Before you went away, someone called you and asked you about organizing because that fellow Don didn't come in, didn't follow through. And you said you will think about it when you came back. So have you thought about it?
I thought about what, Dom?
Organizing the people.
Organizing the people?
Yes. That call your program that keep wanting to get involved and this gentleman...
Well, I like to think they are organized by virtue of the fact that every day at 2:05 they tune in the Bob Grant Show.
Right.
And we have our meeting Monday through Friday here for a total of 20 hours a week. So.
But you also said before you left for Israel that you would consider it.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'll think about it, Dom.
That's what you said.
Thank you, Dom.
Have you thought about it?
Yeah, I thought about it.
And you're still going to continue thinking?
I'm going to continue thinking, right.
Don't do anything.
Thank you, Dom. I hope you get better.
You too.
Okay, bye. Time now for the WABC Shadow Traffic Report with Pete Torriello, sponsored by Ringling Brothers Circus. Bill, you're on WABC. Hello.
Yeah, Bob, I know I'm a little late with this one, but I want to talk to you about Jack Newfield's article in Sunday's Daily News magazine. I don't know if you saw it or not, but he was paying homage to the, quote, heroes, unquote, of New York in 1989. And every one of them is a supporter of some left-wing cause, some left-wing ideology.
Well, that shouldn't surprise you, because Jack Newfield is a left-winger.
Exactly, yeah.
Jack Newfield probably misses Stalin.
You know, Newfield is exactly the kind of guy that Jackie Mason was talking about. He's typical of one of these Jewish people that is just overburdened with guilt. And my opinion is that the reason for this guilt is that their entire religion is based on a lie, a falsehood. The falsehood being that the Messiah has not yet arrived. But the Messiah did arrive 1989 years ago, only to be murdered by the Jews. And I believe the reason for this guilt...
Oh, no, wait a minute. Suddenly we're going far afield here. Or suddenly we've without warning, we've shifted gears, talking about political commentators of the left. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Suddenly we've shifted gears to an anti-Semitic polemic. Get off my phone, you jerk, you phony, you fake, you fraud, you sneak. I don't like our sneaks. You want to say something, say it up front. Brad, hello.
How you doing, Bob? I wanted to ask you something. How's your toothache doing?
I don't have a toothache. I wouldn't be here if I did.
Well, you took off yesterday. You know, for a toothache, you must be a real wuss.
I must be a real what? I hung up on him. Gus, hello.
Hi. Giuliani carried many assembly districts in Queens County. In fact, his vote was phenomenal. Do you think that vote for him will carry through in future elections for the Republican Party in Queens?
No.
Why not?
Because the people there are absolute bigots. They are prejudiced against Republicans. Because the people there have been brought up to believe that even if Adolf Hitler ran on the Democrat ticket, it might be okay to vote for him.
Then why such a large vote for Giuliani?
Because they didn't want Dinkins, that's why. You know the answer. I hate when people ask questions when they know the answer.
Okay.
It's 20 minutes before 5. Richie, you're on WABC. Hello.
Yeah, hi, Bob. How are you today?
What's on your mind, Richie?
Bob, earlier today you made a comment about Molly Yard.
Yeah?
Well, I just wanted to say, Bud, I'm afraid if I was on a deserted island, she would look pretty good to me.
If you were on the deserted island for 250 years, maybe.
Yeah. Thank you, Bob.
That was brilliant. It's 4:45. Bob Grant saying hello to Tom. Hello, Tom.
Hi, Bob. Did I hear you the other day, you said that teachers were overpaid?
Teachers?
Yes, I think you said teachers are more overpaid now than they are.
I'm sure I said that because I believe it.
Could you tell me why you said, is it because the product that they're turning out isn't very good? Or is it
Well, that's part of it, but why? Are you a teacher?
No, I would like to be one someday, but that's not. I think they're underpaid, and I'll tell you why. I think that the salary and the criteria for picking teachers should both be raised so that you would get a better quality of a teacher.
So that's better. My foot.
You don't
My
think so?
foot. My foot.
I think education is the most important thing.
Oh, but
in a society.
what a lovely cliche. But education begins in the home, pal.
Yeah.
And one of the homes where most of these students come from in New York City. Would you tell me that, pal? You know where they are.
I'm not saying the black man is the devil. All I'm saying, historically wise, if the Dead Sea Scrolls are accurate, and this is what she's following, they're living up in an area in Montana.
All right, I can't take it anymore. I can't believe anybody's as stupid as you are, but thank you for the call.
All right.
What a jerk. He's going to believe... Why doesn't this jerk who was just on the line go out to Montana and join her cult? I tell you, it's scary out there. Really scary out there. They're sick of getting sicker, ladies and gentlemen. Mike, you're on WABC. Hello.
Hey, Bob Grant, this is Mike, the African. Yo, man, I understand, man. What I hear, you've been getting a pound today from my people, man. What you don't
Your people? What are you, some potentate?
No,
What are you, a tribal chief? What do you mean, your people?
Well, my African people, you know, you're getting a pounding today, man. I already told you yesterday we're going to take over. You should...
Oh, did you call yesterday?
Yeah, you should be...
Okay, we take a once a week call, Mike. That applies even to a tribal chieftain like you. The next time you call, take the bone out of your nose, will you jerk? Elizabeth, you're on WABC. Hello.
Yes, good evening, Bob. I'd like to speak to you about your somewhat single-mindedness about smoking. You know, you are becoming politically correct. You know, you really are falling into that pattern.
You know what, Elizabeth?
If you don't wish to smoke, you don't smoke.
You know what, Elizabeth? You sound to me like a genuine, vintage douchebag.
Here we go.
Get off my phone, will you?
On.
All right. Peter, you're on WABC. Hello.
Yes, good afternoon, Bob. What were you doing in the Brooklyn Bridge stark naked yesterday morning? You weren't wearing any clothes. What were you doing, Bob? Are you going mad? Were you about to jump into the river? Bob, I saw you. You weren't wearing any clothes, Bob.
Where are you from, Peter?
Bob?
Where are you from?
Listen, I got a lot of respect for you.
No, prior to your arrival in my country, where'd you sneak in from, you slime ball?
Hello, Bob.
Yes.
Yeah, I'd like to call in reference to a caller who called up a few minutes, like 15 minutes ago previously, who said that Israel is getting a lot of criticism now because of latent anti-Semitism in Americans.
You sound pretty ridiculous saying it was childish of them to do that. You sound like a real Class A dumb jerk.
Well, I don't really care, you know. It's just, I think that was wrong of them to say that, do that.
What should they have done?
Well,
This Sheikh Obeid, by the way, do you know anything about this Sheikh Obeid? You know anything about his history in terrorism?
Well, no. Actually, no. It doesn't matter. I don't think who he was or what he did.
It doesn't matter.
No, I don't think so. He was a person.
Well, you know what? My father told me once, he said, there are two people you should never argue with. Someone who's obviously smarter than you, and the worst one to argue with is someone who is so dumb you can't reach them. Guess what category you fit into? Coming up.
This is America's most listened to talk radio station.
WABC, New York.